What's up, beautiful people? It's Mike James back again of P&Z Life Coaching, and I'm bringing another episode of Black Business Booming. I'm so excited because I've started out with these interviews. I'm getting more and more that's coming in, and so far it's been people who I know or I'm linked with on social media and have been supporting and seeing their journey. So I have another awesome guest. I want to take the opportunity to let you introduce yourself to the people.
Awesome. Hi, my name is Shanon. I'm a holistic nutritionist and health coach and the founder of Sincerely Shan's, a brand that's dedicated to helping people thrive from within through holistic health and nutrition.
Awesome. So excited about this one because, of course, my background is health and fitness. And even when we first connected on the Combos app, when I see somebody with health and fitness or motivation, anything, I'm like, yes. So I'm excited about this one. So tell people a little bit about your background, like where you're from and, your businesses.
Awesome. So I am from Brooklyn, New York. That's where I was born and raised. My background, interestingly enough, is in psychology and sociology in undergrad. And then I recently graduated with my master's degree in nutrition and dietetics because I'm working towards becoming a dietitian. So right now I'm like in the nitty gritty of studying for my board exam to be a dietitian as well. I've been in the field of health and wellness for about 5 years now. I started off doing group coaching through my YouTube videos, and then people started reaching out to me to come in person to do group coaching. And then that transitioned into one-on-one coaching as I continue to get my feet wet in this field. Now I primarily focus on weight management, holistic health and nutrition, of course, and women's health. I just started a women's group all about helping women thrive from within through holistic health and nutrition as well. And in that group, each person has a particular goal that they work on. And then I just guide them along the way to reach that goal in a holistic way. So taking into consideration how their mental, physical, and spiritual health plays a role in their journey. So that's me in a nutshell.
That's awesome. And in that, too, you answered the question of about how long and when you started it. And I think I heard that inspiration in there as well of why you did that. I love that holistic approach because a lot of times now it seems so hard to find that, even though it's popular, right? And it's trending more. It seems that it's still hard to find that or that it's in front of you. Sometimes it's like, are they suppressing that, that holistic approach to things? So I really love that. So in starting your business and everything that you do, what was one of the most challenging things about starting or just branching out and, wanting to become a dietitian and a health coach? What was one of the most challenging things in starting?
I think for me, it was mostly like trying to figure out, will this work for me or not? So basically, like being that no one else in my family really is in this field, I didn't really have someone, sorry, there's like noise in the background by the window, that I didn't really have, guidance per se in how to go about starting this business. I was young. I wanted to, do everything pretty much like on my own with regards to like getting clients and coaching them. And so I had no experience. So that was very like, I went through a period of trial and error. But now when I look back, I can see how going through that process made me a better coach and really gave me the confidence to believe in myself and what I was doing. So I would say that was the first thing, just fear of like, will this work? Will this not work? Because this is what I want to do full time, but I don't see examples. I don't see people of color in my industry who are women who are doing what I want to do. So that was the first thing. I guess the second thing would just be like trying new things as well, kind of similar to the first, but just, I wanted to, for example, create this women's group, but I was going back and forth between, should I do it? Will people sign up? It's a membership group. Are people going to stick around forever? And same thing again, I just had to really step out on faith and give it a shot and say, listen, if it doesn't work, at least I tried. If it does, then great. But I think for me, it really comes down most of the time to like fear of like what will happen. and
Right.
having to like reframe my mind to think more positively about my approach. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. That is so true. And that goes across the board, right? No matter what field you're in with entrepreneurship, it's always that question of, will it work? Am I going to be able to do this? And it's always that traction, right? That's one of the things where, we're always looking for that traction to see, will anybody like it?
Right,
Will anybody
right.
support it? So that's awesome. So getting over that and getting started and just doing it. And now that you've launched your women's group and you're doing things, and congratulations to you, by the way. It's been how long since you graduated?
I graduated May 20th, so just
Yeah.
like last month. Yeah.
Right.
So
So awesome. Congratulations on that. So now that you're in it, right, and you're in that path, what are some of the day-to-day challenges that you face, or some of the things that just on a daily, whether it's operating or just mindset, what are some of the daily challenges now running the business?
That's a good question. I would say just keeping up with like making sure that everything is sustainable and I'm always bringing in revenue, which is why I created the women's group as well, because that's the easy way to know like, okay, this is how much money is coming in. But again, like before doing that, it was more so based on like clients. And I have programs that run for about like 12 weeks. And before I created my 12-week program, I had like a 3-month program. So it was pretty much like I would go do the 3 months and then it's like, okay, I got to promote. I got to get myself out there so I can get, clients again for the next 3 months. And that can cause a lot of anxiety. I, decided to create a long-term lifetime membership where people pay once a month and it's for a small fee. And by doing that, I'm now able to really gauge or just expect like, okay, on this day, this is the amount of money that's coming in because this is coming from the group. I have this stream of income coming from my one-on-one coaching. I have this stream of income from YouTube. So I would say before, my worries was just like, trying to keep up with, revenue and making sure that I was working a business that's sustainable. But now that I created these different streams, it made the process kind of easier. So I would say that. And then apart from that, what else? I would just say just growing, just continue to grow my brand, grow the engagement, grow the followers. That can be annoying sometimes. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think in every answer, right, that you've given so far, I think it's a lot of lessons in that too, because that's for anybody. Again, it's not just particular to what you do, but I think in any business, especially starting out. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's really good.
And I also think for people like us in this field, like, especially when I said in terms of like the following and how it can be annoying, like, I just want to focus on coaching the clients, like not the
Right.
marketing, getting the people. I just want to get the people and then speak to them. But when you're in the beginning stages of everything, you kind of have to do both. And that
Mm-hmm.
can be like cumbersome. Yeah.
Right. Definitely. So, looking at the other side of things, what is one of the most satisfying parts of your job and most satisfying thing about what you do?
I would say just seeing the progress that people make. I think that's one of the most satisfying things ever. So, for example, I also work with one brand and they give me clients, I coach them, and they kind of have a life long-term model. So they sign up with them, they can stay with them for as long as they want, and they would get a health coach like me to coach them towards whatever goal they have in mind. And with that particular brand, it's just so nice to see like, wow, I've been working with someone for 58 weeks, 68 weeks, and look at their weight graph. It's like this. Or now we're not even focusing on weight anymore. We're focusing on sleep and lifestyle and exercise. So just seeing how people progress over time and looking at like, wow, you thought that you would never get to this place and now you're beyond it. I think that's the most rewarding thing of being in this field, just seeing those tangible results.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so awesome, because it's always it's that little extra energy, that boost to keep you
Right,
going, because
right,
like we talked about the challenges that you face when you see those, the testimonials and the progress and the growth of what you do, because it's a direct correlation of what you do. It's that boost that you get.
right.
So Yeah, that's
And
so awesome.
you get so caught up in just doing. And then when you take a step back to look at how far people have come, it's like, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That confirmation. I love that. So, what is some advice? Somebody that's watching this, that watch, any kind of interview with an entrepreneur, whether it's new or they've been in business for 10, 15, 20 years, what's some advice for someone that will be watching and they're on the verge or the fence of starting a business, or they're about to start a business, or maybe they just started, like they're fresh into starting a business or going into entrepreneurship? What is some advice that you would give someone that's just starting out?
Good question. I would say, I'll start with this. Get a planner. Get a planner. I have mine right here. It's with me all the time. And don't try to remember everything in your head. Get a planner, write things out, stay organized, because you're going to have to, especially if you're starting out or if you're transitioning in your business, you have to stay on top of so many different things, and trying to remember it all is just going to drive you nuts. So number one, I would say, is to get organized. And a great way to do that is just to get a planner. Whenever you have an idea, write it down. Whenever you have a meeting, write it down. Whenever you want to, do something different in your business, write it down. So at least you can focus more on whatever you're trying to do in your business, rather than keeping in mind like the nitty gritty things that you need to work on to like tune your business, if you will. So number one, I would say definitely to get organized. Number two, if you're just starting out, I would say to figure out how you can also have an online presence, because that is just, as you can see with coronavirus quarantine, that is so important for a business. Whether you have a restaurant and you can do like meal delivery through a digital platform or website, or whether you're a coach and you have, your website with your landing page with your information where people can Google and then your name will pop up. But just having an online presence is so important right now, because everything is becoming, more online or digital. So making sure that you have a presence online is very, very, very important, even if it's just starting small with like a social media account like Instagram or
Right.
Facebook. And then advice for someone who's been in the business for like 20 years or so, I would say don't be afraid to like try new things, because sometimes people can get so used to like doing what they've been doing for 20 years and it's been working for them, and they don't want to change anything because they're scared it might not work, like I was with starting.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes when you just try something new, it can make the world of a difference. Like going back to a restaurant, for example, a restaurant may, be doing well in business for 20 years, and everything is great. And maybe just by adding like a weekly event in your restaurant might like bring more customers, or bring that community aspect where people are looking forward to, hey, every Thursday I gotta go to this restaurant because they have this event. So just trying new things, I think is also really, really good to keep in mind, especially when you've been in business for such a long time. So
Right.
yeah, in a nutshell, stay organized, get a planner. Number two, I forgot what number two was. Online presence.
You're
And
right.
then number three is to don't be afraid to try something new.
I love that. Yeah, that's good, man. That's some good advice, and I think for the most part, that's some of that is fresh advice, that hadn't been heard in previous interviews. So that's really good, and I love that fact of not being, not being afraid to change, because I think that's the biggest part of things, because society is changing so much.
Yeah.
What's in season or what's popular or trending last year is outdated, especially like you said with COVID-19 and everything going on. You constantly have to think about, okay, what can I do different? So it's like that
Yep.
comfort zone is just thrown out the window.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. You have to just try new things, see if it works. And sometimes when you just try something new, it's literally the best thing that could have ever happened. And even sometimes when I try new things, I'm like, why didn't I do this before? Like, what was I so afraid of? So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I love it. So, with everything going on, so what's next for Sincerely Shans? What's next? What's on your radar? Where's the business going? What do you have coming up, or what's on the radar for you?
So That's a loaded question, only because I'm studying for my board. So that's like the first thing that always comes in my mind, like pass your board, finish that. But after I do that, I really want to scale this women's group because I really, really have a passion for that. So in grad school, I am finishing up right now with research and looking at the leading factors of obesity and weight gain in African American women. So just looking at why do African American women gain weight? Why do they have experienced struggles with trying to maintain a healthy weight? Is it that they don't know how to cook healthy meals? Is it that they don't have access to healthy meals in their neighborhood? Are the meals or food expensive? So looking at things like that and then addressing it. And that's kind of how the women's group actually came about as well. Just looking at my research and then seeing, okay, I want to create a group to help address these issues. So I would say right now, after I pass my board, well, during the process of studying for my board and after I pass, I would say, number one, just growing the women's group to really address this issue that's going on across the United States in terms of women and their weight. And then number two, I do want to get back on making consistent YouTube videos. I've been dabbling in YouTube again here and there. So I love doing that. It's a great like creative outlet for me. And then I would say number three, just continuing to grow my one-on-one services. So fine tuning that a bit. There are some areas that I noticed that I want to include more of and areas that I want to take away that haven't been as helpful for clients with working one-on-one with them. So yeah, I would say my women's group, YouTube, and one-on-one coaching. That's where my focus is right now. We're finding those three areas.
That's so awesome. So keeping up with that. So with the wealth of information and the wealth of a resource that you are in your business and what you're offering to the community, let everybody know how they can find you and how they can see what's going on with your business. Just, any information or website, just let everybody know how they can keep up with what you have going on.
Okay. Well, a good way to keep up with me, to see, like you said, like day to day, what I'm doing is through Instagram. That's a good one. I'm always on Instagram. I love Instagram. I'm always posting on my stories, giving people behind the scenes of what I'm doing. So if you want like in the moment, what is Shan up to? You can find me at Instagram at Sincerely Shans. Everything is at Sincerely Shans. So that's a good thing to just keep in mind. And then apart from Instagram, of course, you can go to my website, sincerelyshans.com. And on there, you'll be able to read about the women's group. You'll see some of my latest YouTube videos and blogs. You'll get to read up on my one-on-one services. Everything about me, what I do, my background, my education can all be found on sincerelyshans.com. And then what else? I dabble in Facebook here and there, but guys, I'm mostly on Instagram. Instagram right. Where and then last but not least, YouTube, like I said, and that is also at Sincerely Shans. So everything at Sincerely Shans, but first Instagram, my website, YouTube, and then Facebook.
Awesome. Yes, I encourage everybody just in us being connected for the last few months, pretty much a majority of 2020, I would say, and just seeing what you put out, great information. So I encourage everybody to make sure you see what she has going on. And again, I want to tell you, thank you so much for doing this. I'm excited. Again, just so many of the interviews I've had the opportunity to do are people that I've made connections with here lately. And I'm excited. And I definitely appreciate you for your time and for doing this interview.
And thank you so much for having me. I really, really appreciate this as well. I think this is great what you're doing to just really shine light on the Black businesses that are booming, because we're in a time where a lot of people are looking for Black businesses that they can support, or products or services that they can invest in to help themselves that are Black owned. So I think this is such a great way to just, spread knowledge and news about Black businesses that are out there, that are growing, especially the small ones, to really support them and give back to our community. So yeah,
definitely. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, it's one of those things where I started saying this, it's trendy now, right? Like you say, everybody's looking, but I started talking about this last summer, like a year ago, saying, one of the things I want to do on my business YouTube page when I created is I want to highlight Black businesses. And I was playing around with different names and everything. And so it's one of the things where I, especially going into 2020, I'm like, it's coming, people. I want to do this. And so I'm excited to be rolling it out. So thank you. Of course, I'm going to put all the information, Shanon's website and everything in the description. So make sure you check that out. Make sure you go check out her page and subscribe. And as always, like, share, subscribe to this page. And we appreciate you. We'll see you next time on Black Business Booming. Peace.